Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and today I'm here to share with you all a few things I think are extremely important for women to do to make sure we're taking care of our mental health and our well-being. I was inspired by the recent episode of Red Table Talk where Cheslie Kryst's parents were on there discussing her life, her legacy, and just talking about her spreading awareness about her life and her untimely ending of her life. And she was struggling with high functioning depression. I am passionate about women and helping women. So I want to share with you all my 5 must-haves that I believe are important for women to prioritize in order to keep ourselves healthy mentally. I was also inspired by the young lady who just took her life. She was a cheerleader at Texas Southern University. Her name was Arlana Miller. And I read her Instagram post, and it was heartbreaking because she was only, I believe, 19 years old. She was a freshman, and she couldn't see beyond her circumstances. She couldn't see beyond the failures. She had been struggling for years, and she just decided that it was too much. And a lot of young women, and a lot of women, period, are overwhelmed. I think right now in our society today that women are dealing with so much overwhelm. Everyone, not just women, but everyone is under pressure. I think especially women, we are a bit overwhelmed because we are expected to be perfect. We're expected to do it all and to have it all. And this question keeps coming up, can women have it all? And at this point, I'm asking myself, do I even want it all? Do I want to work a full-time job 40 hours a week and then have a hustle on the side and then be a mother and then be a wife? So I think right now it's extremely important to prioritize our mental health and our well-being, just because we're living in times where a lot of things are uncertain. Lastly, what else inspired me to make this video is that 2 things. Women are more likely to suffer from anxiety and depression than men. And women's rates of ending our lives, it starts with an S. Women's rates of S are increasing compared to men. Number 1 is self-care. It's non-negotiable. Self-care is a buzzword. Everyone says it. It's so important though. And I'm not just talking about getting your hair done, getting your nails done, getting your makeup done. I love all those things. I consider that self-care. But I'm talking about internal self-care. And the internal self-care to me radiates and improves your external anyway. So much like your external improves your internal also improves your external. So some ways to tend to your internal self-care are 1, journaling. Journaling is so important to get all the thoughts out of your head, all of the things you're thinking about throughout the day. It's good to dump them out on paper. Whether you're angry, you can have an angry journal, a happy journal. I have a happy journal, I have an angry journal. My happy journal, because I try not to be so negative all the time, and just practice gratitude and think about, okay, well, what went well for me today? So I have my happy journal, then I have my regular journal, and then, you know, sometimes like a lot of my thoughts, like my creative thoughts of things I want to make YouTube videos about, I also journal those things too. It's good to get all that mental clutter out of your head and onto paper. Sometimes talking to people is not for everybody. You have to be careful sometimes about who you talk to about certain things. Talking your problems out doesn't always work for people. So sometimes writing things out and only you see them is good for you. And so I just think journaling is like helpful. Journaling, number 1. Number 2 is meditation. I try to do meditations and I try to listen to affirmations. Sometimes in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, I'll throw on a YouTube affirmation. Well, listening to positive affirmations is good to get some positivity into your brain. Also, meditations just really work good to calm you down, calm your mind, to de-stress. It's good to start your day with a meditation. Sometimes 5 minutes of meditation is just enough. is enough. Sometimes you don't have to do a whole hour-long meditation. Just 5 minutes can just set the tone for your whole day. So meditation is a good internal self-care practice. Another internal self-care practice is getting enough sleep. I have this book that I got from Barnes & Noble. It's Sleep Well, Live Well. It is strategies and solutions for getting the sleep you need for optimal health and happiness. Getting enough sleep is crucial, and I don't always get enough sleep, and I need to get more sleep. So I bought this book to prioritize my sleep. I'm not advocating for anyone to buy this book. What I am advocating for is to prioritize sleep, to get better sleep, to stop looking at a screen like an hour before bed. I do that now. Well, I've been doing that a couple nights a week, and that has been really helpful. Also, I don't sleep with my phone in my bed anymore. I put my phone on my desk, completely away from me. Getting good rest it just makes us more alert, and we have more energy when we get enough sleep. So sleep is another internal self-care practice. And then exercise. Exercise is not just for looking good and fitting into cute clothes. Exercise actually helps you de-stress. It helps you have more energy. It helps you sleep better. There's so many benefits to exercise, and there's so many different ways to exercise. You can go for a 30-minute walk. You can go swimming. You can go to Pilates. You can jump rope. You can run. You can do so many different things, and it just helps you overall have more energy. And I really advocate for exercise, because sometimes people just think exercise is for weight loss, and it's for more than that. So exercise can help you feel more confident in your body. It can help you feel better about yourself. It can help you give you some time to yourself. Like, I consider my exercise time for myself, to prioritize myself. So next is rituals, self-care practice. I believe it's important to have rituals. And this is a book I have called Whole Beauty by Shiva Rose. It is daily rituals and natural recipes for lifelong beauty and wellness. It's such a pretty cover. I got this for $4.97 from Francesca's. And this book is about self-care. It's about seeing the things that you do for yourself in a new light. Seeing your routines as rituals and not as chores. Not as something that you do that is like a drag. That's like a drag. It's like, no. Get inspired by taking care of yourself. Get inspired by your beauty. I'm going to read a little bit from the back. It says, when you approach beauty rituals with reverence, you begin a wellness journey that will connect you to your deepest self and honor the essence of your being. It has so much different stuff in it, from recipes to meditations, chakras to hair masks. And I really like this book. I have that one, and then I have this other book by Queen Afua. She just actually released a new updated version of this. Sacred Woman, A Guide to Healing the Feminine Body, Mind, and Spirit. She is such a woman's woman. She really is focused on helping women heal themselves. I also have this other book by her, Heal Thyself for Health and Longevity. And she's just focused on helping women and men heal themselves. It's just good information in these books to help women see their beauty, women heal themselves, to help women prioritize themselves, and to think more positively about themselves and more positively about being a woman. I also want to mention this magazine, because this Breathe magazine is, I love this magazine. This is like the ultimate self-care wellness magazine. For a magazine, it's pretty expensive. It's like $13.99, but it's well worth it. I love these magazines. I get them from Barnes & Noble. Breathe and Make Time for Yourself. This is all about self-care and making time for yourself. So I really highly recommend this for women and for anybody. It's not just for women. Self-care is a non-negotiable. It's a necessity. Please, women, if you don't have a self-care practice, please create one, because it's a game changer. Number 2, This is important for women, is to build a community or join a community. Community is what validates you. Community is what recognizes you, who sees you, who makes you feel special and good about yourself. Community is necessary for people, like for survival, I feel. And as an introvert and as a loner all my life, or I just had difficulty fitting in, I will never ever advocate for being alone. I do not advocate for being alone. I do not advocate for isolation or not having friends. As a person who went years feeling alone and isolated, I know what that really feels like, and I will never advocate for people being alone or choosing loneliness. Now, some people are alone by choice and they really enjoy that, but I always felt like, no, I need other people. I need friendships. I need support. I need to have people in my life. And a big defense mechanism of mine was to not care. I used to be like, I don't care. But community is important. Everybody needs support. Women, especially, as we become mothers, as we become wives, as we take on more responsibility in life, we need help, we need support. So having a community is important. And unfortunately, like, people have become less community minded. A lot of people just don't care about their neighbors. A lot of people don't have conversations with the people that live right next door to them. They can't go and borrow any sugar because they don't know the people they live next to. We become so isolated and so to ourselves and so disconnected. And I'm an introvert and I'm really like, this is crazy. We walk around with headphones on all the time. We don't look at each other in the eye. You don't survive. You can't survive without community. So it's important that we build one ourselves, or we join a community. I was going to yoga. I was going to yoga like once a week. That was like a community. I started to get to know people. They tell you, introduce yourself and say hi to your neighbor, and that's the whole like point. It's not just come here and sweat and leave. Like, no, come here, connect with people, have conversation. They're trying to connect people. Nothing beats seeing people in real time. Nothing beats connecting with people in reality and like in the flesh, looking people in the eye, talking to people face to face. Nothing beats that. So you can find a community in so many different interests, so many different places, church communities, exercise, fitness communities, hobbies that you are interested in. I wish our communities were more stable. I wish the community here was more stable. My community is, and throughout the last 2 years, we have the neighborhood association getting more interested in having activities and families meeting each other. I actually know some of my neighbors now that I do work for, and I help them. I provide support for them when they need it. So we got to get back to community. So connection, if anything, the point I'm making here is connection is important. Isolation, loneliness is not the way to go. Prioritize friendships. I just went out with my friends yesterday and we went out for dinner. It's good getting together with people. Just good to create and build relationships with people. That is very necessary, very important for women. I'm a girl's girl, so I think women should have a group of girlfriends if you can, or just one good girlfriend that you can just have a blast with, have fun with, share ideas with, create with. And I think friends are necessary. Your man cannot be your everything. We got to get back to being a ecosystem, being group-minded, thinking about someone other than ourselves. Connect and build or join a community. Number 3 is have a hobby or an activity or something that you do just for fun. We have to prioritize fun in our lives. Everything cannot be about work all the time. That's boring. Work is just a part of you. It's not all of you. I took tennis lessons last year for the first time in my life, and it was really hard, but it was a lot of fun, and I just did it for fun. My aunts, all of my aunts and my mom were extremely talented, or are extremely talented. They were seamstresses. My mom is still a seamstress. My aunt was an artist. Both of my aunts and my mom, they're all artists. But my aunt, she went to take classes for drawing when in her 50s. Her husband, my uncle, they both went to classes together, and they became amazing artists in their 50s. And my aunt is in her 80s now. My uncle was in his 80s. And they had artwork displayed all on their walls that they created themselves, and they are just like amazing artists. Women, we are creatives. We're natural born creatives. Learn new things, have new interests, and everything doesn't have to be about productivity or capitalizing off of it. If it's just you and only you seeing your creation, that's good enough. I baked a cake in 2020, and I used my grandmother's recipe, and I want to do another one because it was amazing. But I'm pretty sure when I posted that reel, people probably thought, oh, she about to start selling cakes. No, I'm not selling cakes. I made a charcuterie board for the first time. People was probably thinking, oh, she about to sell charcuterie. Nothing wrong with selling stuff. I'm about to buy me some roller skates. I'm about to get out here and learn how to for real skate. I'm probably gonna go to some roller skating classes. I got me some rollerblades. I'm probably gonna go downtown, rollerblade off the river. Find different ways to have fun in life that don't involve going to clubs, that don't involve going out for drinks, which is cool and nothing wrong with that. There's so many other fun things you can do. So just figure out what you're into and just start doing it and just have fun. So number 4 is figure out who you are outside of your accomplishments. When I was doing research about mental health in women, this came up a lot. When I was reading articles about female athletes that have struggled with mental health, the advice was to women who are perfectionists, women who strive to be at the top and they're hyper focused. Like Cheslie Kryst she was getting her master's and her law degree at the same time. Like just very driven women. It's important for you all to figure out who you are outside of the things that you strive to do. If you're an athlete, figure out who you are outside of softball, outside of cheerleading. If you're a lawyer, figure out who you are outside of law. Develop a sense of self outside of whatever you do or whatever you are trying to accomplish, outside of the titles that you hold. Because if you're no longer interested in that, or if you get injured, then that could mean your whole career is over. If all of your self-worth is tied into whatever you were doing, like competing in a certain sport or working in a certain field, if that all ends and then you don't know who you are, that can be detrimental to your mental health and well-being. So develop a sense of self and who you are outside of your accomplishments. That's extremely important, to know who you are, to really know what you want and not what other people have projected on you or other people's expectations on you. If you've ever read Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, she did not know who she was outside of the fact that she was a lawyer, and she didn't know who she was outside of being with Barack. She didn't know who she was, and so she had to figure out who she was and what was it that she actually wanted to do with her life, and not just live a life that was a life that other people expected her to live. You know, she had to create the life that she knew she was supposed to live. Develop a sense of self outside of your accomplishments. That can be difficult to do because people make your accomplishments all to who you are. Develop a sense of self outside of your accomplishments and learn and figure out who you are and what it is that you want out of life. Number 5, last one, is social media. Social media is good and it's bad. People have created so many amazing, great things on social media, But I think also social media opens us up to unnecessary comparisons to people we don't know. Social media also, we expose ourselves to too much information. Consuming other people's thoughts, views, and opinions can overwhelm you. So I think that it's important to limit your consumption, especially on very touchy subjects, because we need to guard our emotions. I think everyone is vying for, to make an emotional connection or to pull on our heartstrings, tug and pull us in different directions emotionally. And I don't think that's healthy. So we definitely need to guard ourselves from consuming so much of other people's thoughts, because then you have to ask yourself, well, what do I think about this situation? This is going off into a tangent on something else. But like when something happens, we'll run to social media and start consuming other people's thoughts instead of seeing what happened and then determining what we think first and then getting on social media. What else did I say before that? I said social media and the comparisons. We cannot help that we compare ourselves. It's actually human nature to compare yourself. It's a natural thing. And in life, we just do it when we see people. But it's like amplified times 10 on the internet, because you're exposed to way more people on the internet than you would be in real life. So my advice is to log off and give yourself a schedule of how many minutes or hours you want to spend on those apps. Limit yourself and log off. After a while, you've consumed so much information that your brain probably can't take anymore. So just get off and detach from your phone. I'm working on that right now, to detach from my phone. I like to leave my phone in the car when I go in the grocery store, at work. The other day my phone died. I didn't have my phone all day. Guess what I did? I picked up a book and I read instead of getting on my phone. And when I got home, I didn't even want to look at my phone. I just read a book again and then I went to sleep. These devices, they connect us, they improve our lives, but they can also detach us. We have to control ourselves when it comes to the phones and the internet. And I personally want to go back to a dumb phone. So these are the 5 crucial, important things I think women must prioritize in order to work to be mentally healthy as we can be. But it's a never-ending journey. Your mental health, your wellness, it's always something you have to work at, something you have to put effort and energy into. Know that whatever you're struggling with, whatever you're going through, things will get better. I hope the information that I provided was helpful in some way, and I just want us women to take care of ourselves. I want us to prioritize ourselves. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to need support. It's okay if you can't do it all. It's okay. We create the lives that we want. So if we are going through some rough patches, just know that we have the ability to create a better outcome for ourselves. So I hope that something in this video was helpful. I will talk to you guys later. Stay well and stay healthy, and I will see you guys next week.